Hi guys! In this episode of Travel Within, I want to speak about something that I am still learning and that I think you might relate to, which is being more assertive and standing up for yourself, speaking up for yourself. So why did I want to share this with you now? It's because this past week I had two situations, 2 days in a row happening to me that called for more assertiveness. And so I think it was a huge message for me to realize that I still have work to do, but also, why not to share it with you? So these situations happened at restaurants twice. So 2 days in a row, I got served something and there was an issue with the plates. The first time around, I didn't know what to do because it had never really happened to me. It was quite bad. There was actually a piece of metal in my plate. So it was like a kind of a needle, and it could have been dangerous basically. But since I never really had been in a situation like that, and because I guess it was so bad, I told the waiter, but with a big smile, because I was like, what? It seemed just so big and so absurd. I told him, there's a piece of metal in my dish. And so he just said, oh, okay. And he went to talk to the manager, and that's it. He didn't come back and he didn't do anything about it. So that's that. And I ended up eating the plate because, well, that's another story, but for me it's very important not to throw away food, and so maybe I shouldn't have done that, but anyway. And I left the place, the restaurant. The thing is, I didn't feel good. And the second time around, it was with another dish, and there was a piece of paper on the slice of cheese that was in the sandwich. So this was the day right after, right? So I thought, okay, this is a sign. Today I need to act differently, also to feel better about myself, which is the only thing that matters, really. So, I called the waiter again and I told him, there's a piece of paper in my sandwich. I tried to be a bit more serious about it. Not so friendly, even though, it still feels very uncomfortable. And the first thing he proposed was to give me a 10% discount on everything we had with Andy, with my husband. And talking with Andy about it, we said that seems pretty ridiculous. Basically, 10%. It's like the amount of the tip, for the waiter. So I said, I don't think that's like very correct because there was a piece of paper in my dish. So, can I please talk to your manager? Turns out the manager wasn't there. And so we decided to wait a little for him. Apparently he would come back soon. But meanwhile, the cook came to see me. So this lady, and she was actually super nice, and she like resolved the conflict because she simply said, I'm sorry. She apologized, which the waiter already didn't. So that I realize now telling you was also what kind of upset me. So she said, what we can do for you is offer you the dish. You will pay the bill, what your husband had and his drink and his dish, but you will only pay your drink. And that I thought was really correct. So I left it at that. I was like, okay, I appreciate it. That's fine with me, I feel good about that. So those were the two things that happened to me. Now, what do I take out of it, basically? Two main things, thinking about it. The first one is what's important, and what I didn't do the first time round is to respect yourself. So the first time round, when nothing happened and I didn't really complain anymore about it, I left the restaurant and I didn't feel good about myself. So for me, it's really actually about personal integrity, about respecting your values, about knowing what is okay and not okay for you, about, drawing that border so that people respect you, and that most importantly, you respect yourself. And I hadn't respected myself the first time around. I didn't feel good about the situation, and I felt like someone had walked over me. So that's the first lesson. The second lesson I personally take out of it is to take it step by step, because when you talk about being assertive and standing up for yourself and speaking up, to me it seems like a mountain. I mean, I never really learned it, and it seems so daunting. But what I take out of this is that I can do it if I take it step by step, situation by situation. So in each situation, I think, okay, let's take a moment and pause and think, how do I feel about this right now? Is it okay for me? No, it's not okay. So I need to do something, because I know that if I walk out and I don't feel good, we get to the first issue, which is I'm not respecting myself. But so take it, step by step, situation by situation, moment by moment. And that way it makes it more manageable, and I have the impression that I can do this. So what would be really interesting for me to know is how you guys cope with situations like that, because I'm, let's say, a beginner. Are you really good? Are you confident? Do you have no problem speaking up for yourself, or is this something that you're also still sometimes struggling with? Are there any situations that you recently lived and experienced where you had to, say what you thought, or where maybe it didn't go the way you wanted and you didn't feel so good about it? So it would be really interesting for me to hear how you handle things, and that way, I'm certain we can learn from each other. So I'd be happy to hear from you guys. Let me know in the comments how you relate to this specific subject. And I hope you enjoyed this episode of Travel Within. Hope to see you soon. Take care, and don't forget to like our channel, subscribe if you haven't done so yet, and explore always.